Hi there, my name is Alonda and this is me unscripted. If you're looking for something where someone has this aesthetically pleasing life, long hair, young and beautiful, this is not that. So you should, leave. You should click away and I'll wait. Go ahead, you can go. But if you are someone who wants something that's just basically raw, unfiltered, and someone just kind of speaking their truth about what's going on, be it in my life or just my thoughts in general, then you might want to stick around. Or if you are a subscriber at my other channel, the Recovering Hunbot, you might want to hang out too, because I'm going to be talking about other things. And I decided to make this channel because anti-multi-level marketing, just kind of like my thoughts and opinions, it just didn't seem like it fit altogether because I'm doing some true crime over there too. And, it's like, okay, now I'm going to do more. So I just figured, you know what? I might not have any subscribers yeah, that's right. Because like right now, I don't have any. I think I have myself. That's it. But that's okay. I decided to make this video to kind of chronicle something that started kind of happening to me and my husband this past Friday, which was July 3rd, and I got the receipt, okay? I'm not showing you everything because, privacy and all that jazz, but, okay, let me see. Can you see that? All right. Well, if you can't see it, can you see that? Can you see that? Owner wants possession. So yeah, that happened right in the middle of, what's going on in the world, the thing where people are getting sick and dying and all that. And right now, where I live, which is Houston, Texas is a hot spot, and Houston, I mean, the rate is really super high. So I got this, and let me tell you what I did, okay? My first reaction, I just freaked, just mentally went, oh my effing, oh, just freaked. And I sent a voice memo to my good friend, Monica Sambita, and I never say her name right, so I probably didn't then. She has a YouTube channel too. You should totally check her out. She is also doing anti-multi-level marketing and true crime stuff, and she is just like my bestie on YouTube, so she just rocks. So please check her out, and hopefully I'll remember to throw up a card or something, put a link in the description if you're interested in all that. I'll try to help you out because she's really cool. Anyway, I sent her a voice clip. Even before I told my husband, don't tell him that, okay? Don't tell him that I told Monica first. He wouldn't really care. But my husband was at work. Now, he's not working full time because he works in industry. And in case you just don't know the lingo, because a lot of people don't, when I say works in industry, that's the hospitality kind of market. He works at a restaurant. He's the sommelier, one of those fancy people that knows a lot about wine and all of that. And will, come and serve it to you, help you pick out wine, all that. Yes, that's what he does. And he's also the cellar master. So that means that he organizes all the wine throughout the entire restaurant. And well, now I don't know how much is on the menu, but they're probably close to 2,000 different vintages. That's what I meant. But I don't know. During all of this, I know some things have gone on, and the wine director, they've been able to sell wine like to go. So I don't really know. And I haven't asked them how much is there right now because they're not ordering really a lot of stuff because of what's going on in the world, and because people aren't. And if you are going out to restaurants, you might want to rethink that. You really shouldn't be doing that. Just I'm looking out for you, okay? Just think of me as your YouTube mom looking out for you, saying you need to rethink that because it's not a great idea right now. Just saying, okay? So let me give you the full story on this. I guess this is kind of like a story time or whatever. Okay, so we got to go back. We got to go back before we can go to now and then move forward to where I'm going or where I think that we're going, that kind of thing. So in 2015, yes, I'm taking you back 5 years. So just, get comfy. I mean, grab a snack, get a glass of wine, get some sparkling water, whatever floats your boat, but, grab that and get comfy. Then you can just hang out with me and, listen to this little story. So in 2015, I had gone through breast cancer, and I had been working full-time as what's called an instructional designer. That means I design and develop training, and I still kind of do that stuff, but what I'm doing right now is not exactly designing training because I manage what's called a knowledge base, and I put all that stuff together. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, so we're going to move because the building that we live in sold, and we used to live downtown in the old Rice Hotel, which was really cool until they sold the building. And then these jerks from another state bought it, and they didn't know the historical nature of it. And they just, as far as I'm concerned, they ruined the historical integrity of the building. And that just pissed me off. It just really did, because I used to have a gargoyle right at my door. They took those down. They did all these things that were so cool. They really kind of made it look like a Drury Inn. And so it just didn't have that feel. And then we also used to have all these cool events. And this guy, Troy, he worked there. I loved him, because I'd go downstairs and talk to the concierges all the time when I walked my dogs, Chalupa and Tamale. And I'd just like hang out and just chit chat and stuff. And you really got to know people. I mean, it was a really cool place to live. So anyway, well, I also got laid off December 7th of 2015. And this was the day that I went back to work after going through breast cancer. I mean, I was like ready to be there full time and everything. I didn't have to leave and go do radiation. I could, like come in and work, but no, I was laid off. And so in the midst of all of this, we're having to move too. Well, the kind of person I am, I plan ahead. And we had started looking that spring, and we were like going all over the place. And I thought that my husband wanted to live in an apartment community. So that's what we were looking at. I didn't realize that he'd want to live in the area that we live in right now, but I'll get to that. Okay. So anyway, I mean, we go all over the place, and we're collecting brochures and everything, because I want to make sure that we have options. And we're looking, I live inside the loop, but we were looking outside the loop, and that's Loop 610 in Houston. And if you're not from Houston, it doesn't make never mind. But anyway, so I was looking for things that would be an easy commute for him, and also an area where there was stuff for me, and also so that he would have access to freeway so he could go see his kids, because they live like an hour away from us. So I'm looking for all of that. Well, we finally pick out a place, and it's a brand new building, and it's just a couple of blocks from where he works. So it's like perfect. But the thing is that we couldn't actually see the unit that we thought we were going to be moving into, but they were building it. And so, I'd keep calling, and they kept putting me off and kept putting me off, because I was like I'm trying to make arrangements to move and everything, right? 10 days before we moved. Yes, 10 days before we moved. Get a call. It's not going to be ready. And I freaked the F out, because it's like, what in the what? I have been calling for like the past 2 months, dealing with all of this, trying to make sure that all of our ducks were in a row. There were no ducks in any kind of row. Well, anyway, we were able to go there and see the unit that we were going to be moving into, which was not going to be ready, which was not going to fit in our game plan. And when we looked at it, because, on paper, and my husband still has it, but he's not here, so I can't show it to you. So on paper, I mean, it was like this cool floor plan. I was like, yeah, that's going to work. But then we saw it. It was like there was no way that our stuff, like in the living room, there was no way it would fit in there. So we were like, holy crap. So then we looked at another unit there that was going to be ready, which was, of course, more expensive, And I'm like, F this. Because I'm like, are you serious? It's a nightmare for me, because I had the movers arranged. I had everything planned, the lights, the cable, everything. So there we are. And I'm like, crap. So I knew of another place that was brand new, and it was down the street, and it was already built. So we went there and looked, and so we decided to move there. Moving in there was just a complete cluster, and I'm not going to go into that part, but the side that we lived on, it faced Main Street along Houston, and we have a light rail that goes up and down there, which I don't mind hearing that, but across the street is this club called Club Clay. And let me tell you, that's some noise. That's some poop. Now, if you have been watching the national news, if you saw Houston on Labor Day and people were like at this pool party, that's Club Clay. It was going nuts over Labor Day. So anyway, living there, it was just, we ran out of space. We didn't have enough. And plus the office staff kept changing. And, when we had been at the Rice, it's like, I got to know everybody. They were like family. I knew until, the building sold and all that. And so that was always annoying. And there was just other things that were annoying. So we decided, well, we're going to leave. Well, fortunately, my husband was at the AOC, which is the art of cellaring, and talking to other psalm friends. And somebody happened to mention, why don't you look in Montrose? Now, Montrose is my most favorite area of town. And my husband came home and started talking about it. And I'm like, holy crap. you mean this would be something you'd want to do? Because in Montrose, most of the places that you're going to move into, they're not the, new fancy little, well, they've built some. There are some of the little fancy places, but there'll be like these weird little funky apartment communities, and then different weird little funky townhomes and condos and bungalows and fourplexes, sixplexes, and there used to be a lot more of them until the yuppies moved in, but that's a completely different story, which I can totally tell you about that, but not right now. Anyway, so me knowing what you need to do to live in the Montrose, we started going, and because not everything is going to be available, like online, because people just put out signs, like handwritten signs pretty much, like in the yard and stuff. And so we were driving up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, looking to find a place. And so I found a place and we moved in. And it was pretty okay. There were some things that were a problem because you know what? No place is nirvana. I don't care what you do. If you buy a place, you rent a place, you're always going to run into problems. And we had problems there. But we were planning on staying there for a while because who likes to move? I mean, do you like packing up all your crap and then unpacking all your crap, figuring out where to put it and all of that? I mean, it's a suck bucket, let's face it. I mean, no one really likes to do all that. I've moved, oh my God, like way over 30 times in my lifetime. I mean, that's more than most people, trust me. I think it's probably closer to 40 now. I mean, it's just really outrageous. So anyway, at the end of the year, we get a notice that the owner is going to sell. And it's like, okay, if we had known this, we wouldn't have moved our butts here, okay? So we found another place that was really super close where we are right now. And what did I get? Yeah. Owner wants possession during what we're going through. And as a cancer survivor, I am in the mindset of I am just going to hunker down during this global event because I don't really want to interact with other people because of, I don't want to catch anything. Now, another little side note on this, and some of you may know because I talked about it on my other channel and stuff, a very dear friend of ours did severe self-harm to the point where he's no longer here. And we went to his wake and funeral. And then there was like this celebration of life at our old watering hole and everything. So we went to that. Both things. Wore masks. I don't have any masks around here. But anyway, we wore masks. And found out because there was an event on Facebook and more than one person tested positive. And I'm like, crap. So I'm like, well, as a cancer survivor, this is making me really, really nervous. It's like, because we were around a lot of people and I was drinking my Blue Moon. I love me some Blue Moon. And I don't really drink that much anymore. I really don't. And so we were around our friends and stuff because we were celebrating Andy's life because we both love Andy so much. And I can't imagine not having gone to that because it was Andy and he was like family, So I'm like, well, what am I going to do? And this is right at the time when the cases in Houston started really going on the rise. And I'm like, oh, bloody hell. Now what? Now trying to find a place to go is like next to impossible. I mean, they tell you about all of these places and stuff, but trying to get an appointment or, like when they're not full and stuff, I mean, they fill up so much. And I mean, I work from home anyway. Hashtag not MLM. I work from home, so it's not like I want to how many days am I going to have to take off to go have a COVID test? I mean, let's think about that. So fortunately, our friend Jeanette posted in the event that there was this, and I have it around here somewhere. Yeah, it's over here, the kit that I got. So there was a kit that you could do from home. So I'm like, okay, I ordered that. And my test came back negative, but I want to keep it that way because just because you get a test and you're negative, that doesn't mean you will stay negative if you're going out and interacting with people, So this is what really kind of makes me irritated, It really bugs me because, I know life is going on and all of that, but we are in a worldwide crisis. So the building sells. And, a couple of weeks ago, I noticed some things. And let me tell, oh, this is something else that happened. I mean, we've had all kinds of problems here. This right here where I am, my office, I've had water come spewing out from the ceiling because of the upstairs, and the pipes here are crap. When I take a bath, I mean, barely any water comes out, and I have only the hot turned on. It's like lukewarm. I mean, there's a lot of issues here too. It's an older building, but you know, it's in an area that we love, and it's nearby where my husband works when they're open, because of the worldwide thing. So anyway, oh, all of the issues that we're having here, but what's going on in the world right now, that's a bigger issue. So like I said, you know, I'm in the mindset, I'm just going to hunker down. I mean, I know there's people taking risks and going out there and doing things, and please don't do that. It's really not worth it. I don't want you to get sick. And I don't want to get sick. So I don't want to interact with anyone other than my husband. I mean, is that ideal? Of course it's not. I mean, I have my two dogs, Chalupa and Tamale, but you know, and then I have you people on YouTube, you know, and I talk to Monica all the time. We're sending voice clips all the live long day to each other. But you know, it's not like I am really around people, and that's okay. That's okay, because I'm just kind of putting aside everything and just kind of doing what needs to be done. So now, because someone bought the building, which, oh yeah, that's what I was going to tell you. Okay, so I knew something was kind of wackadoo. Okay, because, you know, for 2 weeks, the trash wasn't taken out. Now, the second week, my husband took it out. And because, you know, we're not supposed, because we pay for it. It's a service that we get with what we're doing. And so when I paid the rent for July, I put a little note. I'm like, hey, this happened. I don't know if something changed. Never heard from the person. I'm like, that's kind of odd. Granted, the property manager is a witch, put a B in place of that W. I mean, oh, that's a story in and of itself of how awful she is. I should do a review on that, and it's not going to be friendly or nice. So anyhow, didn't hear. And then Friday, I got a call from this guy, Jeff, who works at the place. And he knows me because when we moved in, that was a property management firm that managed this property. But then the owner got someone else, obviously a lot cheaper, because they were horrible. And I was so happy to hear from Jeff. But oh no, it's like, oh, you noticed a vacate. And it's like, during this, are you serious? Because here's my thought. Oh, and this is also what happened. So a few weeks ago, we got a notice that somebody was coming in for an inspection. And, you know, like, I work from home and my husband's here, obviously, with everything going on, but he stays up late at night. So he's like sleeping. And so somebody's at the door, and we have this weird, our front door is weird. So we don't use that. We use the back door, and someone's knocking, and I'm like doing things. I'm like working, and I'm thinking, okay, go and inspect whatever. But there's this woman there. She's like with a clipboard, and she's all, I mean, she doesn't look like an inspector. You know, let me just say that. So something just kind of clicked. I'm like, this doesn't sound right. That must have been somebody looking to buy who did buy. And now we have to move during all of this. Now, here is my beef with that, is that, okay, they're telling all of us in Houston right now to mask up. Stay at home if you can. Guess what? If you are looking for a place to live, you can't stay home, because you just can't look online and just rely on pictures to see if your stuff is going to fit, if it's going to work for you, if you like the neighborhood, if you like the block. That's not going to work. So what if, and I don't know, maybe I'm being paranoid. Let me know in the comments, because it could just be me. The thought that I'm going to be going in and out, even though I'll wear a mask, in and out of places where other people have lived, and I don't know how clean it is, because I don't know if they've been using wipes or what the state has been in. It's like, could I possibly catch something? Do you really have to do all of this right now during this time? I don't know, but I just find it a little annoying. And maybe it's just me, you know, maybe really it's just me. But, you know, we've been good tenants and we always pay, but we weren't planning on moving again in like a year and a few months. So that's twice in 2 years that we're moving, not because we want to. Again, who wants to move? Now, I do have a list right here on a notebook that I used to work at this place. And so I have this, and I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 different places, 15 different places to look at. Now on the 4th, yes, the 4th of July, we saw 2, and then we did a drive-by for a place. And there's possibilities. The last time that we moved, I found a place in a week because I am now stressed out. My anxiety is through the roof. I can't focus. And that's why this channel was created, was because I can't focus to do the normal content. And I figured, you know what, I'll come over here and talk about what's going on with this and talk about other things that's on my mind, because why not? I mean, maybe somebody will watch it, maybe they won't, but you know what? I can come back in a year from now and be like, okay, look what a crazy person I was right then when I was looking to move. And who knows, you know, things can change. How much changes in a year? My goodness, where were you last year at this time? Did you think you'd be going through what you're going through right now in the world? Yeah, I didn't either. So, all right, so that's where I'm at. So I downloaded the app that's called, I think it's called Hot Pads. Let's see, Hot Pads, because I'm like, you know what, I've got to get down on the go-go. I've got to make this happen. Yeah, Hot Pads. And so that's what I'm using. So I'm looking for what's available that will meet our needs, because we need a 2-bedroom, but I also need like somewhere where I can have an office and also use it as my YouTube studio. I need all that. You know, now, like I said, I'm not fancy. This is me with hardly any makeup on because, you know what, again, raw, unscripted, just talking about whatever and maybe ranting and reviewing and who knows what. But that's what this is about. So I hope you'll stick around. I hope you'll, you know, maybe give me some ideas of, have you gone through something like this? Are you going through something like this? I mean, have you been put in a position where you're having to do something that you don't want to do during this time? Because I kind of am going like, why are people making people do things like move right now? You know, it's one thing if you are making that choice to do it. It's a whole different thing when you have no choice and you're dealing with a lot of sickness that there's no end in sight. And especially when you're living in a place that there are just cases all over, you know? All right, that's enough for now. And I've got so much else to say about so many different things. So I hope you'll come back. I don't know what my upload schedule is right now. I have no idea. But doing this is easier for me than the work that I put in to make anti-MLM videos. I do a lot of research and I dig into things. I'm a former Hunbot, hence, you know, my main channel, The Recovering Hunbot. But I need something to be easy. I need something to be a release. And, you know, we'll just see where this goes, all right? So until I see you again, and I hope I do, remember, do that subscribe thing, a thumbs up, leave a comment, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time.